Alright, let's learn some basics. Basic beatboxing stuff. Simple, nice and easy. We're just gonna use some letters. Actually, let me change the notation stuff. What's up, Takao? Are you here to learn some beatboxes? Some beats? Sick beats. I'm gonna change some stuff real quick. Oops. There we go. And then I can make this bigger. So, first sound, the kick. Usually going to be notated as a B in terms of pattern writing. So, that's an easy one. Just like the letter B. But shorten it. So B to B. In fact, let me put the basic. You're just here to watch. Well, you can learn along if you want. Let's see. This is gonna be the easiest of beats. B, boots, like boot. And then T, just the beginning of T. Real easy. Everything's really easy. So boo, t, and then and. You don't really say the and, but you could say the and if you want. K, cat. K, inward K. Usually you go inwards. You don't have to go inwards for this. Just a K sound. The beginning of the K sound. So all together. Boots and cats. Cat. So that's a mixture of the K sound along with the T. Boots and cats. And in notation, move that. I should have set up my text sources. That way I don't have to keep making new ones. So in beatboxing notation, it'd be B, T, K, T. I'm gonna learn and train at 1 a.m. Every time is a good time to learn beatboxing. B-T-K-T. That's literally probably the easiest combo to learn. And you might think this is easy, but it's like the basics for all beatbox. What's up, Penguin? Are you here to learn some beatboxing too? Boots and cats. B-T-K-T. And then you shorten all those sounds. And where more complex beatbox comes from is by putting those sounds in different orders. So you get things like I should buy a puff filter. That way my my kicks aren't completely destroying mics or destroying headphones. Also, yes. Let's see. Make sure to study well and rest smart. Just wanted to learn. All right. So you're gonna go to college and you're gonna learn more stuff, but you're also here to learn beatboxing. That probably won't help you in life, but it's fun to learn. Again, boots and cats. Easiest combo. And probably something everyone should practice if they're going to go into beatboxing. And something that I still need to practice. Now, let's look up some beatbox patterns on a website. I wonder if I can just copy this and paste it. Oops. Let me see if I can move this over. You want to learn it? Not going to try to practice it? Not the best at speaking. Well, there's going to be a lot of speaking. See. Oh, there we go. Although that looks kind of weird. Let's space these out. I should have set this up beforehand. That is really janky. You know what? We're gonna get rid of this bottom line. There we go. We'll delete this. Let me grab this. So basically, we speak it first. B T K T T B K T T B K T T B K T. And if you want to hear that in practice, it's usually things are just notated with a lowercase t just to indicate that it's a slightly weaker noise. And also the K's, they could be inward or outwards. So inwards would be outwards, pretty much the same thing. It's just breathing in or breathing out. Clap, clap, clap. It's an easy beat, don't clap yet. So yes. Ooh, t, ka, t, t, boo, ka, t, t, boo, ka, t, t, boo, ka, t. And again, you can speak it, but once you start to do the beat actually, just shorten all those sounds. So. I suppose I should also give tips on how to do some good sounding noises. So for the kick, you might want to blow a raspberry first. So, you know, just make fart noises. And then to make a good sounding kick, you want to have a bit of bass in there. So, yes, please. You don't have to go super far with the raspberry. Just short, nice and short. You want to make sure it's all clean, and that you can hear each individual noise. So, and if you really want to get a hard-hitting kick, you tighten your lips a bit. That way, it forces the air to make a much louder noise. So that was me tightening my lips. You can hear that it was much louder, aside from just doing like. There will be some vibration in there. That's perfectly fine. That just means it's a more powerful kick. And if you get that clean, most beatboxers look for a good kick. That way they know where the beats are. And the hi-hat, if you want, you can add on an S. So, let me write down what that looks like. Hi-hat. Variation. God, that's so small. TS. That's pretty much what it looks like. Oops, going off screen. Hi-hat variation. You could add this in with most hi-hat substitutions. So it just sounds like it's literally just the T sound while hissing. It's like hitting, what would it be? It's not called a crash cymbal. I don't know proper drum instruments to help to give examples on what they should sound like. So, TS. Let's see, what's a combo? So literally just boots and cats, but you extend the S. And it helps in filling in some of that empty noise, because not all beatbox can fill in all the noise as much as like a drum kit would, because we only have one mouth, one tongue, one throat. So fill in would be, or would sound like. Now if I did that without the TS, it just sounds like. And that sounds very empty. But with that TS, it gives a little bit of that flavor, so that it sounds more filling. Because a lot of beatbox, like I said, we only have one mouth and one tongue and a throat, and we can't really do much with it unless you're an absolute god and you can make like 5 sounds at once. It's very useful to know when to fill spaces in. Shy guy, you have absolutely no clue how beatboxing works, nor do I know how I ended up here, but hey, I'll stick around. Well, I'm glad to have you here as a student. Although I'm probably not a very good teacher. But feel free to stick around. It's nice that you're here. So yes, TS. Very good for filling in spaces and filling in noise when there's not any noise. Alright, let's hide that. Beep boop bop, beep beep boop bop. I'm not boyfriend from Friday Night Funkin'. Oh, I suppose I should add in a few of the other, what's it called? The other basic noises. So, here's another basic noise. EF equals, what drum instrument would this be? I suppose just PF snare. So PF, that sound makes, it's almost like the kick, but slightly tighter lips, and the lips are sort of curved inwards into your teeth, and then you have an F sound after it. So, literally, so PF. BF is another way to write it, but it's usually not written like that. How's my son doing, by the way? That is not my son. I don't have a son. That lemon demon is not related to me in any way. They are exiled before they even get into my kingdom. Half beef. So PF. That's a more, sometimes you could do it with a more electronic beat. You know, something like dubstep. Because it's slightly easier than doing a K snare, depending on like what kind of beat it is. Let's see, what's a good beat. So a basic dubstep beat. It sounds a bit more powerful. With a K snare, if you did that with the K snare, there's slightly too much treble for something like a dubstep beat, but it's perfectly fine if you do substitute it in order to do some sounds easier, because you can do the K snare outward while also having a vocal part. The PF snare doesn't really allow vocal parts, but you have to be really quick with the PF snare. Anyway, those are the more advanced stuff. I'm forgetting a sound. I am gonna sneeze. Excuse me. F equals, what's this called? I forgot what it was called, but it's when you brush the a drum. Brush. I'm just gonna call it brush. Thank you. Thank you for blessing me. Oh, that made my nose hurt. Anyway, F is like a brush. So you could put that in between things. Like, let's go back to the boots and cats. BTKT. Let's put in the F. BF. TF. Okay. Let me put a combo back up. B F B F A F T F. Okay. B F T F K F T F. So slow down a B. B, b, t, f, k, f, t, f. It's literally just the boots and cats with F noises in the middle. This is also a slight filler sound, but it enhances the beats to the next level because it also has, what's it called? A slight bass into it, if you understand my drift. So that sounds kind of empty. If you do, that sounds a bit more full, and also has a small sort of audio bass line to it. So, F, the brush. Also use it as a filler. Really struggling to make the sounds correctly. Alright, we'll run through the sounds again. B, but shorter. And you can tighten your lips to make it a bit more stronger. So a small tip is to fill your mouth with air while having your lips closed. Tighten your lip, and then at once release the air and let your lips release. So tighten your lips, fill your mouth with air, and let it go at once. Make sure to not puff your cheeks. You don't have to puff your cheeks. The cheek puffs, that's usually just a cartoon thing that some people do for like animations and all that to distinguish that they're doing a kick noise. Because visually that's what it would look like. But most beatboxers try not to puff their cheeks. Just because if you puff your cheeks, it's not going to be as strong. Because you're putting too much air. It works. So, don't puff your cheeks. Tighten your lips together. And release air at once. That's the basic kick. Hi-hat. Literally just T. Accent the t, 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 t. And then if you do want, you could put an S behind it. So, kick and hi-hat. How would you make hi-hat better? Or what tips would I give to make it a better noise? Literally just try to make it as short as possible. But then, oh, right. The tongue has to be on the back of the teeth. So, if you do it on your hard palate or close to your soft palate in your mouth, like if you feel around your mouth with your tongue, you'll feel that it's softer in the back on the top of your mouth, on the roof of your mouth, and it's slightly harder on the front, and then you have your teeth. So you want the hi-hat to be on the back of your teeth and slightly on the hard palate. If your tongue goes too far back onto your soft palate, you're going to get a different sound, which is also used in beatbox, but it's not a basic. That's called a hollow clop, and that sounds like. That's a more advanced sound. It's not advanced, but it's used in a more complicated way. Anyway, hi-hat, T, 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 T. Just say T. Say T without vocalizing it. T. That's probably the easiest way. And K snare. Okay, we'll start with the inward K. We are breathing in. This K is going to be breathing in. So, and then you just make a K sound while breathing in. the K sound comes first. So hit hard with the K sound. It's going to be the back of your tongue hitting the roof of the back of your throat, if you understand that. Like, yeah, like in the word like. If you hear me accent the L-I-K-E, like, that's pretty much the K sound. It's just a K without vocalizing. A lot of these are just not vocalized. So inwards. If you want to make it to sound a bit more full, you breathe in a bit more air. So and then it is kind of hard to explain this, but you can try to use the acoustics of your mouth to maybe make that air sound a bit more varied in a way. Okay. Alright, it's good that I have an indication that someone's learning. So again, inward K. And then if you want it to get like really textured, then what I do is I slightly vocalize it sometimes. So I'll go, which is just still inward. You're breathing in air while also trying to vocalize backwards. I don't know how to explain it very well. It's like, so trying to speak while you're breathing inwards. And then you do that sound softly while doing an inward K snare. It'll give a bit more texture. So, let's see. What would that sound like in a combo? I don't know if it's picking up on the mic, but yes, it just gives it a bit more texture. And moving on to outward K snare, pretty much the same exact thing, just breathing outwards now. Sometimes the outwards K snare is is notated as a lowercase k. That just means that it's using less air, sounds a bit weaker than what an inward K snare would sound like. So the basic combo for an outward K snare that it's usually used in is TKK. The low or the second K is slightly lower just because it's outwards. So T K K. Oh wait, no, I'm getting that wrong. It's a lowercase k first, and then there we go. So TKK is T is outwards, the first K is outwards, and the second K is inwards. So that allows you to do faster beats. But that's going to be saved for another day. And the PF snare. Pretty much like a kick, slightly weaker in the what's it called? In the amount of air. Not the amount of air, but the initial hit. There we go. Slightly weaker in the initial hit. Because you don't want to make your PF snare sound like a kick. Otherwise it's gonna sound messy. So PF snare. PF snare can also be a PSH snare. And PSH sounds a bit different, but it's kind of similar. So PSH would sound like remember, each of these sounds can be used for different things. But for right now, we're learning PF. So literally just a weak kick with, think of it like a kick with a brush afterwards. Let's see, how do I make it a bit easier to understand? So since your lips are already in that slightly angled into your teeth position, if you just let air out, it's already going to sound like a F. So, and what you can do to learn the sound is do a kick and then a brush. So kick and then brush. That's an easy way. And then brush, literally just an F sound. Put your bottom lip onto your top teeth. Not on. Bite your bottom lip with your top teeth. And then very slightly release it so that air can get past. So bite the bottom lip, slightly release it, let air out. If you want to get a shorter brush sound, it's going to be kind of hard to do while breathing out. While breathing out with your lungs, you can use your tongue to push out air. So there's a difference between and. With your tongue, you can get a shorter, cleaner noise. Like a rabbit. Yep, like a rabbit. Pretend you have buck teeth. Put it over your bottom lip very softly, and then let out some air. You can use your tongue or your lungs. The lungs, it's kind of harder to recover from, and it might make you a bit winded, and it can lead to like beatbox exhaustion. What that just means is in the middle of your beat you might sound tired because you don't have enough air. I'm sorry, I don't know how to speak, or not speak, but read Russian, but thank you for subscribing. Glad to see you're here. I'm always on board for international fans. Not fans, international viewers. But if you want to be my fan, that's perfectly fine. No yaso. How are you doing? Are you here to learn some beatbox? Are you here to learn how to beatbox and impress your friends? Alright, so we'll take it from the top again. Let's get rid of this TKK. And put boots and cats back up. BTKT. You literally just speak it first, BTKT, and then you take out the vocalizations, and then you accent the first noises of those sounds. So, basically, just do the noises over and over again until you get it strong and clean. You want to make sure that your noises don't blend in with one another, otherwise people aren't going to be able to understand the beatbox. So boots and cats. Literally just say boots and cats. And then accent the what's it called? Why am I forgetting linguistics right now? Accent the consonants. I forgot what consonants were for a second. Shy Guy, thank you for subscribing. I hope you'll come more to learn more beatboxes once I get into the more advanced things like throat bass. That's a basic throat bass. And we'll learn that. We could learn that next lesson. But for right now, it's just basics. Boots and cats. That's all I'm going to say for the basics. Boots and cats. You just accent the consonants, and you should be good to go. Now, let's look up some basic beat patterns. Let's see. I wonder if I can copy this without having to completely destroy my patterns right now. Okay, that is very messy. We're gonna space these out. That way you can indicate where things are. I don't have a counting thing at the moment, so it's gonna be hard. I think you need to cover some more of the basics. No need to, what's it called, do any patterns yet. You can just learn the noises first. That's always going to be important. Learn the noises first, because it's better to sound clean than to do complicated beats. So this beat, I don't have a, what's it called, counting measures on at the moment, but what it would sound like is that's probably a basic hip-hop beat that you can do. Let me see if I could get the counting on there. I cannot. I wish it was an image. That way I can just, what's it called? Put the image up. Oh, I'm forgetting. A noise. That's fine. We'll learn later. So, all you do, put these sounds into different combos. You can write them out. Writing out the combos will help you visualize it. And speaking it first will help you get the noise patterns down. So this one, you just say p or b, t, kata, ta, 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 kata, ta. Natty Lamort. I don't understand anything. Well, that's alright. These are the basics, and we're always going to be reviewing basics. And thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. I hope that means you'll come to learn more beatboxing soon, or just view any of my other streams. Always glad to have more students. Anyway, let's get rid of this and put back up. We're going to practice boots and cats. Because boots and cats, like I said, and I'm always going to say this, it's the basics that anyone who wants to get into beatboxing should learn. And it's a simple beat. You can easily impress your friends with it. So, why am I holding on to that? And if you really want to spice it up, you could put Fs in between. Yes, I want to learn and watch another streams. Alright. That's good to hear. I always enjoy students who show that they want to learn. So, boots and cats, if you want to spice it up a bit and make it sound not as empty as just you put a brush in between. So we're going to review the F sound. Pretend like you're a rabbit. Pretend like you have buck teeth. Put your bottom lip under your top teeth and let out air. It's like the F sound, like you're saying the letter F. But just don't vocalize it, because most of these sounds are not vocalized. If I can actually do the onomatopoeia sounds correctly, then you're trying to impress your friends with it. Yes, this beat, really simple. Probably one of the easiest variations of this beat. It's just the famous rabbit method. Yes, I wasn't thinking about a rabbit until you mentioned it, Takal. So props on you for that one. Again, pretend you're a rabbit and let out some air. remember, you can use your lungs or you can use your tongue. Your lungs are going to be harder to recover from because it's harder to control how much air come out from your lungs. But when you do it with your tongue, you have a set amount of air that you use. And technically, you're not even using air, or you're not even using air from your lungs, which means you can breathe in while doing the F. Because if you're using your lungs, you're not going to be able to breathe in while you're doing this sound. Excuse me. I should probably close my window. I keep forgetting I have spring allergies. Oh, I'm about to sneeze again. Alright, F sound. Use your tongue to press out or to push out air. Thank you for blessing me. That's the only tip I have for the F sound. If you use your tongue, you're gonna have more air to play around with, so to speak. Bless you, Gesundheit. Thank you. Again, that beat with this variation is gonna sound like. If you do it slowly. All you do is just boots and cats with F's in between. And if you can do it slow, you can do it fast. Which is completely sacrilegious. Because it's gonna sound dirty. Not dirty, but it's gonna sound messy. But I applaud you if you can get clean sounds while doing it fast. So if you can just do it over and over until you get faster and faster. Maybe close my windows. Good idea. But I'm teaching right now. Windows need to be open. I want the world to hear. Again, boots and cats with an F variation. We're gonna take it slow. Maybe if I practice 48 hours a day. Are you really practicing unless you practice 40 hours a day? You can never have too much practice. And then, once you get used to doing those noises, you can step it up just a bit and do it slightly faster. And again, faster and faster. 100 hours per day. I mean, if you were to watch 40 hours of video a day, that is possible because you could watch multiple things at once. That's going to be hard to focus on. Now, practicing beatboxing 40 hours a day or 100 hours a day, that means doing multiple noises at once. So you can learn how to master all those noises at once. It sounds actually so cool. See, if I was just doing the boots and cats combo normally without the F sound, it's going to sound slightly empty, but it's still going to sound okay. So, but it sounds very basic. When you put the F's in, that's going to elevate it to the next level. And remember, the K snare can be inwards or outwards. It doesn't necessarily matter too much. It's just if you want to be able to breathe while you're doing the beat over and over, then you kind of want the K snare to be inwards. Ling Ling's practice routine after all. Oh no, I know about two-set violin. Practice 40 hours a day. If you can play it slow, you can play it fast. You try making the beats, can't do them correctly. Something's preventing you from keeping it from sounding correctly. That's perfectly fine. Everyone's gonna get that in the first, few tries of a combo. You agree with Penguin. Alright, we'll take it a bit slower. This is always gonna be the basic beat that we're gonna fall back on. Just because it's simple. Most people can keep in time with it. And the sounds are the fundamentals for beatboxing. So, boots and cats. Literally just say boots and cats. How does the F sound work? So, it's like a brush. It's like the beginning of the F. So, or not the beginning. It's the letter F, but without vocalization. So, say the letter F without using your voice. F, F. Yeah, you can use a whisper. F, F. And then you want to take away the beginning part of the letter F. So it's just going to be the air flowing in between your teeth and your lips. And the way that Takao put it, props to him again, or props to them, you can pretend you're a rabbit. So pretend you have buck teeth. Put your teeth slightly over your bottom lips, very softly. So you don't want to put it, you don't want to be biting your bottom lip. Otherwise, the sound's going to be weird. It's going to sound like a squeak instead. But yeah, put your top teeth over your bottom lip softly. And you can use your lungs to blow out air, or you can use your tongue to blow out the air in your mouth. So teeth over bottom lip, very softly, and push out air. It's the noise when you brush the brush on the drum. Maybe for a non-native English speaker, making a little bit of progress. Well, that's good. I applaud you for that, for not being able to speak English as proficient as us, but still being able to make progress. That's very good. What's up, my friend? What's up, Fat Bear? How are you doing? I hope you're ready to learn, because we are learning the basics of beatboxing. So, Shy Guy, F sound. We're going to review the steps. Just put your teeth on the top of your bottom lip, very softly, and blow out air with your lungs or your tongue. And like I say, you can use your lungs or your tongue. It's just that with your lungs, you're not going to be able to breathe in while doing the noise. So you might feel a bit of beatboxing fatigue from it. And you might get a bit lightheaded because with that way, you're probably going to be breathing in a lot more. But with your tongue, it means that you still have your lungs to breathe in. A lot of the techniques in beatboxing will come using air from your mouth only. That way you can do other vocalized things. But that's for a different day, because those are more advanced things. Think you got it? Just can't do the whole sequence quickly because run out of air. So, let's see. If you're running out of air, you can try to just use the air in your mouth. It's going to be very weird with the motions of it, because not everyone's tongues are used to this. Have a bit of a lisp, not the best at speaking, tend to stutter, but I'll keep trying. Well, it's good that you'll keep trying. I'm not too sure on how to help with the beatboxing with the lisp, but I can always try to adapt some beats. Alright, so with this beat, let's see. It is possible to do it with only the air in your mouth and you know, being able to breathe normally while doing it. It's going to be difficult to learn how to do that. So that could probably be set for another day. Right now, we're just going to stick with the basics. And you can use your lungs, you can use your tongue for the air. You'll be fine. All right. B, F, T, F, K, F, T, F. Very simple. If anything, remember you can always take out the F's. It's going to sound a bit more empty, but you're still going to get the basic beat down. And, you know, if you're using your lung air, then it's good to do basic beat first before inputting those fillers. That way you can get used to the amount of air that you need and, you know, how much air you need to push out for the combo. Also, if you are running out of air, you can change the K. So you can change the K into inward. So inward K, just do the K while breathing in. It's going to be, the sensation is going to be in the back of your throat. You just make a K noise. Oops, that was too loud. Once you get that I suppose clicking sound, it's going to sound like a rim shot. But we notate it as like a snare. So once you get that clicking noise, you want to breathe inwards and let some air in. So that's me without doing it with air. And then you breathe inwards. That way you can do the beat over and over and always have air. And it'll be kind of like you're breathing normally, but it's just that you're using sounds with your air, if you catch my meaning. So, like, if you do it that way, you can pretty much do it forever. So, most beatboxing combos will allow you to put in like a K sound to breathe in, or use different techniques to breathe in. That way you can do them with, you can make it a cohesive sound, a cohesive song, without breaking the combo, you know, by having to breathe. So that K sound, you can do it outwards or you can do it inwards. If you do it inwards, that just means you can do it longer, or yeah, you can do it longer and pretty much forever virtually. But outwards is perfectly fine to do. You're just gonna have to find a way to breathe in. Which, that's gonna be a bit harder than it sounds. Anyway, back to, once you get, you can just repeat that over and over. There's no need to put it together to make it sound like anything yet. Just repeat that combo. So, just, once you get comfortable with the amount of air that you need and with the tongue movements, then you can try to put it all together and make it into one long pattern. And then once you get those down, you can still keep it slow. Making things go faster is not necessarily helpful. It's just making things faster will just show you how technical you can get in a way. Yeah, so keep it slow, keep it nice and slow. That way you get comfortable with everything. because beatboxing is all about strange movements in your mouth that not everyone is going to be used to. So, remember to accent the consonants. That way you have cleaner hits and much harder hits that sound better and sound more like a drum. Because drums don't have they don't have a vocalized part. So, very simple. Once you get comfortable, again, you could put it together and loop it as many times as you need to. And then once you get very comfortable with that, then you can start adding fillers. So, with those fillers, it makes an empty beat sound way better. Because if you just do the basic beat, like I said, it's gonna sound empty, not gonna sound, like it's coming from a experienced drum player. But it's perfectly fine to just do the basic beat. Actually getting better at it. Just a bit though. That's perfectly okay. We're looking for progress. As long as you progress, we're what's it called? We're succeeding. You can say BFT, it's not much, but it's a little win. That's perfectly good. If you do that, actually another way to learn is to just take it one sound at a time and keep adding on sounds. So let's do B only. And then you add on BF. I'm sitting here doing hand gestures to absolutely no one but my my monitor screen. I can't beatbox without moving my hand. Oh man, if only I had hand capture. That way I could I could do gestures and stuff, and you'll see how much my hands are moving while I'm beatboxing. Anyway, back to the learning method. Yes, one noise at a time, and just add on noises. So, BFT now. Yes, my hands, they cannot stand still. Now we got BFT, and then BFTF. And then we keep going. BFTFK. You're able to do B correctly, satisfied with that. One noise, that's still progress. As long as you're progressing and working hard. So, BFTFKF. And BFTFKFT. And then repeat that as much as you can. So don't move on to the next sound until you could get your current pattern on, or until you can get your current pattern down. So practice BFT as much as you can until you can add on the F. And then add on the F. It's all about repetition and getting used to the noises because, like I've said, these movements in your mouth and your tongue, it's going to be very weird, and we're usually not used to it because we don't really pay attention until we actually isolate them and use it more often. Also with this, if you do a lot, your lips might get sore. Mine aren't because I developed more muscles from it, because I also do play the trumpet as well, so that helps. But if your lips are sore, do I keep my teeth together while doing any of these? Stumbled on using just mouth air, keeping teeth together. I guess when you're doing the T sound, you can keep your teeth together. But like the B sound, you don't have to keep your teeth together. Because if you keep your teeth together, that means your lips are going to be a bit tighter and it's going to get a different texture, which is fine. It could sound better to you. It could sound better to other people. It's just the way that I do it is I keep my teeth apart. That way I have a bit more freedom with how the noise sounds. Not the best, but F and T are better and the K is okay. So the K, the inward K snare or the outward K snare, those are going to sound different person by person. Because it's all about, you know, doing the K over and over. Not a lot of people say K really strongly. But that's, you're just gonna have to play with the acoustics of your mouth and how you take in air. So you can have different noises like yeah, with that I just did like 5 different K snares. It's always gonna sound different, but you want to find the K snare that you are comfortable with, and then you practice it over and over and it'll sound good. Trust me, things might not sound good in the beginning, but it's gonna sound good once you get it down. So, let's see, keeping teeth together. Yeah, you don't have to keep the teeth together. It'll just make different textures on the noises. But the K, I like to keep my teeth apart because it allows me to get a different what's it called? A different sound on the K when the air comes in. So if I kept my teeth together, it'd be. You can hear that I'm getting a much higher sound. But if I had my teeth apart, it'd be. I'm getting a lower sound, and it sounds a bit different than the teeth together. But it's perfectly fine. It's still gonna sound good. So, for example, I'm gonna do this beat with my teeth together just so you can sound, or just so you can hear how it sounds. I kind of tripped up on the beat. Everyone is trying to learn. It's adorable. That means we're doing good. I like that. And then here's how it sounds with my teeth apart. This is just when I do it because I'm more used to like the movements. So I'm able to choose the sounds that I want and that I think, you know, fits my sound. So here's without the teeth together. You want to play with the sounds as much as you want, or as much as you can, to find a sound that you enjoy. You don't have to find one that other people do or that other people enjoy. You want to make your own sound. But it's not a problem to use other beatboxers, you know, noises as reference to how it should sound. Because that's how, like, that's like a good bar on how it should sound. Oh shoot, I got it. Alright. Alright, back from the top. BFTF And then we take that beat, either sound by sound or do like a slow combo. So we're gonna take out the fillers first. GG Chai. Yes. This combo, take out the fillers, which are gonna be the lowercase f's. So it's just BTKT. And then, also, if that beat is still a bit too hard, that's perfectly fine. Just take it sound by sound. You repeat that over and over until you can keep adding on those extra or those sounds on the end. And then that's probably one of the better methods of learning combos. Just do the first sound and then add on another sound and then add on the third sound and so on and so on. And then we bring it back to the whole combo. It's slightly hard to do BF because it's using the same part of your mouth twice. And the reason why some beats are able to roll off like let's see. Let me put this into words. The reason some words are able to roll off your tongue and sounds nice, you know, like those fast raps, is because they use different parts of your mouth. So what's a word that rolls off your tongue? Inevitable. Inevitable is a word that you can say fast and it's gonna roll. So inevitable, inevitable, inevitable. You can hear each individual syllable and it's gonna be faster because it's using different parts of your mouth. So BF is just gonna be weird because it uses your lips twice in a row. So, but just slow it down, speed it up until you can get it sounding the way you want. And that's about it for this beat. Boots and cats. Always remember boots and cats. No one's gonna make jokes that boots and cats is how you beatbox, but it literally is how you beatbox. That's the fundamentals for all of it. And when someone says, I beatbox by doing boots and cats, then you could take out this beat, and then you'll be like, add in some fillers. Be like, and immediately that already sounds better than just Alright, how are we on time? 1 hour, 9 minutes. I didn't think it was that long already. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this stream, this beatbox lesson. I'm gonna leave with a, what's it called? With a pattern of my own. It's not my own pattern, but it's a pattern that I like to do. Let's see. I'm gonna notate this by doing BRR. Able to do a simple beat. It's not great, but happy. Thanks for the newfound lemon. Or newfound knowledge. Newfound lemon. Yes, that's perfectly good. That's perfectly fine. I'm happy I can teach people. Alright. Let's do this beat. I have to think about it in my head first. I have to I can't write this beat without actually doing it. Oops, let's space that out a bit more. Okay, so this is the beat that I like to do. Oops. I am having the most trouble with this. That is going off screen. Let's see if I can make it slightly smaller. This is gonna be hard to see. Let me just make it the basic pattern. There we go. So this pattern, I can be more like onomatopoeia. Well, didn't expect to learn how to slightly beatbox today, but you don't mind at all. Burr is for, it's gonna be a outwards raspberry. So just blow air out your lips with, so like make a raspberry. Literally make a fart noise. It's slightly advanced, but anyone can do that noise. It's really easy. Just, yes, it's literally just a fart noise. But then once you do that fart noise, if you tighten your lips a bit, don't worry. It is advanced in the ways that you can utilize it, and in the ways that you can make it sound different. So this is technically advanced. So literally just blow air out your lips. But then with this, I like to tighten my lips a bit. So it gives a pseudo bass line. So I could get a sustained note. It's not hard. Pretty easy. It's just remember, making a fart sound. You think burr is difficult, but it is easy to say. It is real easy. And then, yep, just like a horse, exactly like a horse. Takal's coming up with the animal methods. So, and then you see se. It's literally just an S sound, but the way I put it, I usually sometimes vocalize it with se, 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 se. Like the beginning of second, se. But it's going to be very short. I'll demonstrate the way I do this beat in a bit. So, se. We're going to slightly extend the, do I roll my tongue? Nope, not yet. Rolling tongue is going to be for a different time. This is just going to be lips. Or the BRR sound is just the lips. So put your lips together and blow air out like you're doing a fart noise. So I know with my mic it might sound like I'm rolling my tongue, but it's literally just my lips. So se. And then basics. B T K T K. With this pattern, it's going to be all outward Ks. Next video of Learn to Beatboxing, how to rickroll using beatbox. Oh man, I could do that. But I'm gonna do something different later on. So put it together. Se, pu, t, ka, t, ka. And then the PF. I want that so bad now. Let's see. Do I have any meme things? Let's see. Do you guys recognize this one? I'm gonna be very disappointed in you if you recognize it. I'll do it again. When I beatbox, do I beat the box? I mean, you can beat a box. Oh, Chai Guy? What is it? What is it, huh? I'm scared to say it. I'm disappointed in all of you. That should be my outro now. Anyway, back to Is that grounds for demonetization? I wish. If I'm that good to match that sound that perfectly, that means I am making headway as a beatboxer. I wish I was that good to get demonetized or copyright. Anyway, back to the back to the beat. So, septikatika, septikatika. Thank you, YouTube recommendations, for showing me that theme. Yes, quote unquote YouTube recommendations. So, septikatika, septikatika. And then we want to accent those. This is a beat I use for slight technicality, but it's actually really easy. So, I'm going to demonstrate it, doing slower, and then faster and faster. Oops, I messed up. So the reason why that works is because it is using all different points of your mouth. So, for example, that's gonna be your lips, and then se is gonna be your tongue, and then b, t, k, that's gonna be your lips, tongue, back of your throat. Sadly, being serious, got recommended a video where a guy played that at a school over the intercom. I think I remember the video of the guy playing it at a talent show, and apparently he got expelled. Anywho, yeah, the reason why those fast beats work is because they are using different points of your mouth. So this is like an intro to technical beats. So remember, that's gonna be your lips, se, that's gonna be your tongue, b, lips again, tongue, with a t, k, k is the back of your throat. And then I explained this with inevitable. That word rolls off your tongue because it's using different points of your mouth. So if I were to say this, I can speak this really fast, because it's just using different points of your mouth, which allows you to basically make different sounds at different times more fluidly. Because like if it was just a bunch of B's, I can't do very fast. But if we add BT, you could do TBT very fast, just because it's using different points of your mouth. So again. Anyway, that's the beat I'm leaving you guys on. But just for a reference, we're gonna go back to BF, T, F, K, F, T, F. So that was the bonus beat. The bonus beat for today's lesson. This BF, TF, KF, TF. Just do that over and over. Remember, take it apart. You can do basic boots and cats first. Or one noise at a time. Man of culture. Thanks for noticing. Yep, one noise at a time. Or you could separate the beats and take out the fillers first. Or you could do all fillers and just do, because that's also still practice. Remember, do it slow. No need to get extremely fast, because extremely fast, while not being able to do clean noises, that's going to sound messy and it's not going to sound like good beatboxing. So, and that's going to be it for this lesson. I don't know when the next lesson is going to be. What do you guys want to learn for the next lesson? We could do things like the actual lip rolls, where it's let's see, what does a lip roll sound like? Lip rolls sound like this. And then there's also the sub-bass lip roll, which sounds like a, what's it called, an 808. Take a screenshot so I can practice this. All right. That's gonna be your notes. These are your notes. Yeah, we can learn lip rolls. Like even that BRR noise, that's a lip roll. And then we can learn some vocal stuff. So there's a throat bass. And what else is there? Vocal scratching. I can't really do vocal scratching that well. Well, it's gonna sound like a DJ doing a turntable thing. I suppose I should put scratching with the scratching lesson. So here's another version of scratch. This is called the crab scratch. We can learn that. The crab scratch is that's gonna take a long time. There's many ways to do it, and it's very hard to put into words. You kind of need a visualization of it. Anyway, you can put a comment. You can tell me right now what you want to learn. But if no one says anything, I guess next lesson we can learn. What can we learn? We can learn how to do vocalizations while doing beats. For the next lesson, if no one says anything. So that's just gonna be learning how to, sing while beatboxing. So a basic example is just it sounds weird, but it's just because I'm not putting any notes to it. But then with that, we're gonna have to learn a new snare. Anything's good. Whatever's cool with me. Completely new to this. I'll try to do easy things that allows people to get into it easily. You have no idea what's gonna be hard to do or not. Well, part of that problem is I learned not doing basics first, so I don't know what's necessarily hard. But I know that throat bass is going to be hard, because throat bass, everyone is different on the way they do throat bass. That's a conversation for a different day. Anyway, it's going to be it for the stream. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, new students, for joining up. I appreciate it. Make sure to practice your basics. I used to not practice them, but I now know that they're extremely important. Basics are very important. So, with that, eat healthy, rest well, play hard, and pay your taxes. Just take care of your responsibilities.